just about any of them could be, and really just from the standpoint that usually during addiction, relationships will revolve around in some ways, using or substances. And so, one of the key aspects of recovery is just really, learning how to engage in those situations without, the use of drinking or substances. And so, um, some things that, can help with that would be, engaging in community activities that can be helpful. Support group meetings, networking in the community can be helpful, even things like volunteering. It may be, going out to a book club, to the gym, going out to the park, going walking. Just starting simple with those things can be helpful. Yeah, those can be tough. So I would say first and foremost, going into those with a game plan. And so thinking about, where are you going, who's going to be there, and when will you know it's time for you to leave? That can be really helpful. So that's what I mean by that term game plan. And so even thinking about, if you are really nervous about going to one of those events, it might just be that you want to try it out and go for just a few minutes, right? You're only going to stay for half an hour. That's a start. So you don't have to jump in and stay for the whole thing. Just take it slow, and do what you're comfortable with. So that game plan can be really helpful as far as that goes. Another thing I'd mention is, really remembering your why for any of these things. And so, a person gets to where they are in their recovery from all the hard work and commitment that they put in. And so, just remembering that and thinking about an event, it's one event, right? It's one thing that's going to come and go. And so, your why is going to be one of the most important things. It's obviously bigger than that one event. I'd start by saying, that's really their choice. And so thinking about how you will respond is going to be helpful. So if you decide that that's not something that you want to share, just being prepared to say that, and some of the ways that you might do that are you just might say, I'm not partaking. If somebody offers you a drink or something, you don't have to explain the why. You just state very objectively and clearly, yeah, I'm not interested. I'm not partaking, and that can be a good way to start without having to share all your personal details. Yeah, this is a good question because, a lot of times in the summer, just activities can revolve, around that. And so, thinking about kind of what I mentioned in the beginning, just starting out small. So, things like spending time outside, going for a walk, going to the park, going to the pool. Also, finding ways that you can do things that you enjoy. So, I hear a lot of times from our patients that, being able to engage in things in the community can be really helpful. Helping in an animal shelter, a senior center, helping out with food at a food bank, meals for seniors, or any of those community volunteer activities. It also can be just as simple as, going out for coffee, inviting a sober support, for that. Or you might decide, you want to partner up and read a book or, do something that you enjoy. So always say to people, it doesn't mean that you have to be around a ton of people, right, to enjoy things. Just having a few people or even one to start for, summer fun or any social activities is a great place to start. Well, acknowledging that they're dreading it, right? And so going into it and thinking about that and just acknowledging that it might be uncomfortable, it might be tough. If it's their first one, it probably will be. So just going into it, not expecting it to go perfectly is going to be a healthy mantra, for walking into that. I also would say, get out of your head. Sometimes as humans, right, we get in our heads so much that we spend most of our time thinking about the worst case scenario and doing just the opposite of that, right? Actually thinking about what might go well at this event. This is going to give me an opportunity to spend some time with people. It's going to give me an opportunity to get more comfortable with this, right? Which is always that first step that we have to be willing to take. I would also say, the same thing about your why and remembering the why around, why you chose your recovery and what gains you've made so far, and just remembering that that's going to be your momentum, for that first holiday, that first cookout, or whatever the case may be there. I was just gonna say, I think that every day is an opportunity, for learning, and so I think approaching the summer that way, if this is your first summer, in recovery, or where you're staying sober, just to approach it from that angle, do the best you can, and learn from your successes, and then learn from any difficulties, and use those as opportunities to like build your support system and your support network, and try something new this summer and stay cool because we've got a lot of heat. So check out things like the library and the pool. Any of those free resources in our community can always be great ones to start with.